country came. It's just madness inside Shanghai. Machines hoist things in their terrible jaws. Machines mold the earth. Machines grind rocks. Machines belch clouds of smoke. Machines iron the ground. Everywhere, machines. The Chinese men are all over the place in orange uniforms and yellow helmets. There's not that many of them, but from the way they are running around, you'd think they are a field of corn. And then there are the black men who are working in regular clothes. Torn t-shirts, vest shorts, trousers cut at the knees, overalls, flip-flops, tennis shoes. We stand for a while at the entrance, underneath the huge red banner with the pretty, strange writing we can't read. We don't usually come to Shanghai because of how far it is. But today, Ma's Anda, Spo's grandmother, made us come and find this man Moshe, who works here, and tell him to come to Paradise because she wants to talk to him. About what? We don't know. To get here, you have to pass Budapest and take Masiapangli Road. Head east all the way until you hit the fenced-off quarry, where not too long ago people were trying to keep our diamonds before the soldiers chased them away. Shanghai is on the other side of the quarry, separated by a bush. They did all that already? Spo says, her voice filled with awe. It's hard to believe just how much has been done. The last time we came, they had only burned the grass and were bringing the machines and things in. Now there's this skeleton of a building that looks like it wants to belch in God's face. Yes, didn't I tell you last time that China is a big joke? Was I lying? Isn't this major, all this? President says, sounding pleased. He makes a sweep with his hand, like he is the one who said the Chinese to build. Like they are his boys, and are here just to follow his orders. And when they get done, it's going to be something else up in here. Just wait and see. Don't say I didn't tell you, President says. You talk like they are building your house, Stina says. So what if they are not? Major, 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 President says, chanting the word like it's a song. He's already starting towards the building, and we follow him. Around the construction site, the men speak in shouts. It's like listening to nonsense, to people praying in tongues. It's Chinese, it's our languages, it's English mixed with things, it's the machine noise. Because the men don't really understand one another, hands and tools often rise in the air to help the language. When we approach the black men shoveling earth into wheelbarrows, some of them pause to watch us. They look like they've been playing in dirt all their lives. It's all over their bodies, their clothes, their hair. They don't look the way adults always try to look, making like they're in charge. So we pity them a little bit. We stand near the pipes and rest at shots that we want to see Moshe. Nobody answers us, but after a while, the pitch-black one with all muscles shouts for us to go away. Moshe went to South Africa a few days ago, he says, and he goes back to taking. He did the right thing, President says. Who? Spo says. Moshe? How? By going to South Africa. That's what I would do, instead of working in this kaka place and getting all dirty. Do you see how they look like pigs? President says, and laughs. We stand around for a bit, but since nobody else talks to us, we walk away from the men. When we get to the tent next to the large yellow caterpillar, we stop and peep to see what's inside. We are peeping like that and failing to see anything because it's dark in the tent, when out walks this fat Chinese man, fastening his belt, catching us. He must be the foreman, because unlike the others, he's dressed in proper trousers, shirt, jacket, and tie. It's surprise all over. He's obviously surprised to find us there peeping, and we are surprised at being caught, but we are more surprised at his fatness. The other Chinese workers here aren't even half his size, so what is wrong with this one? And then, to add to our surprise even more, the fat man starts ching-chonging to us, like he thinks he is in his grandmother's backyard. He ching-chongs, and then he stops, the kind of stop that tells you he is expecting an answer. Chipo giggles. This one is crazy, Stina says. Yes, so what you told Fat Mangena here, the Chinese is our national language now. Look at that drum of his stomach. It's like he has swallowed a country. We are still standing there, when out walk these two black girls in skinny jeans and weaves and heels. We forget about Fat Mangena and watch them twist past us, the large blue purse of the skinny one grazing my left side. Matching bling hangs around their necks like nooses. They twist past the caterpillars, past the mountains of gravel, twist past the groups of men who stop working, and stare at the girls until they eventually get out of Shanghai and disappear behind the bend near the main road. So, you want something? This other, regular-sized Chinese man who has come to join Fat Mangena says to us in slow English. This one is the worker. His face is dirty, and he's dressed in the orange uniform and helmet, and he carries a rope in one hand, a cigarette in the other. We watch him take a drag. Exhale, drag, exhale. What are you building? A school? Flats? A clinic? Stina says. We build you big mall. All nice shops inside. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Versace, and so on, so on. Good mall, big, the Chinese man says, flicking ash off his cigarette and looking up at the building. We laugh, and he laughs as well, and Fat Mangena laughs too. Give us some ginjons. We got some before. Cognos says, getting straight to the point. Last time, they gave us a black plastic bag full of things. Watches, jewelry, flip-flops, batteries. But like those shoes that Mother bought me once, the items were cheap caca, and lasted us only a few days. But we also got these interesting brown, funny shaped thingies wrapped in plastic. They were crunchy when we bit into them, and to our surprise, we found little white pieces of paper tucked inside. God knows this, if you eat a box of fortune cookies, anything is possible. Rastad said, your talents will be recognized and suitably rewarded. Chico said, if I bring forth what is inside me, what I bring forth will save me. Spo said, the nightlife is for you. Stina said, a new pair of shoes will do you a world of good. Lucky numbers 7, 13, 2, 9, 4. And 9 said, your future will be happy and productive. You get one time is enough. Now you want made in China, you work, nothing free. The Chinese man says, well, you are in our country, that counts for something. Stina says, you want us to come at night and defecate all over or steal things? Gordon says, and the Chinese man laughs, the kind of laugh that tells you he didn't understand the word. Then he and Fatima and Gena start some really serious ching-chonging, but we know they are not talking about other things. We wait until we grow tired of it, until Stina says, let's just go. They are not giving us anything. We are booing and yelling when we walk out of Shanghai. If it weren't for the noisy machines, the Chinese would hear us telling them to leave our country and go and build wherever they come from. That we don't need their kakamol, that they are not even our friends. We are still yelling when we pass the black man, but then the one with the muscle steps out to meet us, like the Chinese meeting a prefect, and blocks our way with his giant body. He doesn't say a single word, but we can tell from his face that this one can pinch a rock and make it wince. So we shut up there and then and leave Shanghai in silence. Okay, it's like this. China is a red devil, looking for people to eat so it can grow fat and strong. Now we have to decide if it actually breaks into people's homes or just ambushes them in the forest. Gordon says, that doesn't even make sense. Why does it need to grow fat and strong if it's a devil? Isn't it all that already? I see. We are back in paradise and are now trying to come up with a new game. It's important to do this so we don't get tired of old ones and bore ourselves to death. But then it's also not easy because we have to argue and see if the whole thing can work. It's Bestard's turn to decide what the new game is about. And even after this morning, he still wants it to be about China, for what I don't know. I think China should be like a dragon, Bestard says. That way, it will be a real beast, always on top. I think it must be an angel, Swore says, with like some superpowers, to do exciting things, so that everybody will be going to it for help. Like maybe pleading or dancing to impress it, singing China, China, Mujiba, China, China, War, Swore says. She's dancing to her stupid song now, obviously pleased with herself. When she finishes, she does 2 cartwheels, and we see a flash of her red knickers. What are you doing? Bestard says. Yes, sit down. That's just caca. Who will play that nonsense? Me? I'm drawing country game, Gordon says, and he picks up a fat stick. Soon we are all busy drawing country game on the ground, and it comes out great, because today the earth is just the right kind of wet since it rained yesterday. To play country game, you need 2 rings, a big outer one, then inside it a little one, where the caller stands. You divide the outer ring, depending on how many people are playing, and cut it up in nice pieces like this. Each person then picks a piece and writes the name of the country on there, which is why it's called country game. But first, we have to fight over the names, because everybody wants to be certain countries, like everybody wants to be USA, to be the USA, and Britain and Canada and Australia and Switzerland, and France, and Italy and Sweden and Germany, and Russia, and Greece, and then these are the countries. If you lose the fight, then you just have to settle for countries like Dubai, and South Africa, and Botswana, and Tanzania, and them. They are not countries, but at least life is better than here. Nobody wants to be rags of countries like Congo, like Somalia, like Iraq, like Sudan, like Haiti, like Sri Lanka, and not even this one we live in. Who wants to be a terrible place of hunger and things falling apart? If I'm lucky, like today, I get to be the USA, which is a country. Who doesn't know that the USA is the big boom of the world? I feel like it's my country now, because my aunt Rosalina lives there, in Detroit, Michigan. Once her things are in order, she'll come and get me, and I will go and live there also. After we have sorted the names, we vote for the first caller. The caller is the person who stands in the little inner circle to get the game started. Everybody else stands in the bigger circle, 1 foot in his country, the other foot outside. The caller then calls on the country of his choice, and the game begins. The caller doesn't just call on any country though. He has to make sure it's a country that he can easily come out. It's like being in a war. In a war, you don't just have to fight somebody stronger than you, because you will get proper clobbered. Likewise, in country game, it's best to call somebody who is a weak runner, so he can't beat you. Once the caller calls, we scatter and run, as if the police themselves are chasing us, except for the country that's been called. That one has to run right into the inner ring and shout, stop, stop, stop. Once everyone stops, the new country in the inner ring then decides who to come out. Counting out is done by taking at least 3 leaps to get to one of the countries outside. It's easier to just count out the country closest to the outer ring, meaning whoever did not run that far. You just do your leaps nice and steady. The other country is counted out and must just sit and watch the game. But if you are the new country in the inner ring and cannot count anybody out in 3 leaps because you were not fast enough to stop the other countries, you take the next caller and leave the game. It continues like that until there is only 1 country left, and the last country standing wins. We are in the middle of the game, and it's past getting hot. Sudan and Congo and Guatemala and Iraq and Haiti and Afghanistan have all been counted out and are sitting at the borders watching the countries play. We are running away from North Korea when we see the big NGO lorry passing from Legi, heading towards us. We immediately stop playing and start singing and dancing and jumping. What we really want to do is take off and run to meet the lorry, but we know we cannot. Last time we did, the NGO people were not happy about it, like we had committed a crime against humanity. So now we just sing and wait for the lorry to approach us instead. The waiting is painful. We watch the lorry getting closer and closer, but it seems far away at the same time, like it's not even here yet, but stuck somewhere else in another country. It's the gifts that we know are inside that make it hard to wait and watch the lorry crawl. This time, the NGO people are late. They were supposed to come on the 15th of last month, and that month came and went, and now we are on another month. We have already cleared the playground, because it's where the lorry was stopped. Finally it arrives, churning dust like an angry monster. Now we are singing and screaming like we are proper mad. We bare our teeth and thrust our arms upward. We tie the ground with our feet. We squint in that dust and watch the doors of the lorry, waiting for the NGO people to come out. But we don't stop singing and dancing. We know that if we do it hard, they will be impressed. Maybe they will give us more. Give and give until we say, NGO, please do not kill us with your gifts. The NGO people step out of the lorry, all 5 of them. There are 3 white people, 2 ladies and 1 man, whom you can just look at but know they're not from here. And Sis Betty, who is from here. Sis Betty speaks all languages, and I think her job is to explain us to the white people, and then to us. Then there is the driver, who I think is also from here. Besides the fact that he drives, he doesn't look important. Except for the driver, all of them wear sunglasses. Eyes look at us that we cannot really see because they are hidden behind a wall of black glass. One of the ladies tries to greet us in our language and stammers badly, so we laugh and laugh, but she just says it in English. Sis Betty explains the greeting to us, even though we understood it. Even a tree knows that hello children means hello children. Now we are so excited we start clapping, but the other small pretty lady motions for us to sit down, the shiny things on her rings glinting in the sun. After we sit, the man starts taking pictures with his big camera. They just like taking pictures, these NGO people. Like maybe we are their real friends and relatives, and they will look at the pictures later and point us out by name to other friends and relatives once they get back to their homes. They don't care that we are embarrassed by our dirt and torn clothing, that we would prefer they didn't do it. They just take the pictures anyway, take and take. We don't complain, because we know that after the picture taking comes the giving of gifts. Then the cameraman tells us to stand up, and it continues. He doesn't tell us to say cheese, so we don't. When he sees Chipo with her stomach, he stands there so surprised, he thinks he's going to drop the camera. Then he remembers what he came here to do, and starts taking away again, this time taking lots of pictures of Chipo. It's like she has become Paris Hilton. It's all just click, flash, click. When he doesn't stop, she turns around and stands at the edge of the group, frowning. Even a brick knows that Paris doesn't like the paparazzi. Now the cameraman pounces on Godnose's black buttocks. Bastard points and laughs, and Godnose turns around and covers the holes of his shorts with his hands, like he is that naked man in the Bible, but he cannot completely hide his nakedness. We are all laughing at Godnose. When the cameraman gets to Bastard, Bastard takes off his hat and smiles like he is something handsome. Then he makes all sorts of poses, flexes his muscles, puts his hands on the waist, does the V sign, kneels with one knee on the ground. You are not supposed to laugh or smile, or any of that silly stuff you are doing, Godnose says. You are just jealous, because all they took of you are your buttocks. Your dirty, checked caca buttocks, Bastard says. No, I'm not. What's to be jealous about, you ugly face? Godnose says, even though he can be beaten up for those words. I can do what I want, black buttocks. Besides, when they look at my picture over there, I want them to see me, not my buttocks, not my dirty clothes, but me. Who will look at your picture? I ask. Who will see our pictures? But nobody answers me. After the pictures, the gifts. At first we try and line up nicely, as if we are ants going to a wedding. But when they open the back of the lorry, we turn into dizzied down flies. We push and we shove, and we yell and we scream. We lurch forward with hands outstretched. We want to grab and seize and hold. The NGO people just stand there gaping. Then the tall lady in the blue hat shouts, "Excuse me, order, please." But we just laugh and dive and heave and shove and shout, like we cannot even understand spoken language. We are careful not to touch the NGO people though, because we can see that, even though they are giving us things, they do not want to touch us, or for us to touch them. The adults have come from the shacks and are standing slightly to the side like they have been counted out of country game. They don't order us to stop pushing. They don't look at us with talking eyes. But we know that if the NGO people were not here, they would seize switches or pounce on us with their bare hands. That if the NGO people were not here, we would not even dare act like we are doing in the first place. But then, the NGO people are here, and while they are, our parents do not count. It's Sis Betty who finally gets us to stop by screaming at us. But she does it in our language, maybe so that the NGO people do not understand. What are you doing? Masas Kulivanrini. Yahanya, you think these expensive white people came all the way from overseas, Ipapa, to see you act like baboons? Do you want to embarrass me here? Futsakami, don't be a fool, Sinja. Behave at once, or else we'll get in the lorry and drive off right this minute with all this shit, she says. Then Sis Betty turns to the NGO people and smiles her gap-toothed smile. They smile back, pleased. Maybe they think she just told us good things about them. We stop pushing, stop fighting, stop screaming. We stand in a neat line again and wait patiently. The line moves so slowly I could scream, but in the end we all get our gifts and we are happy. Each one of us gets a toy gun, some sweets, and something to wear. I get a t-shirt with the word Google at the front, plus a red dress that is tight at the armpits. Thank you much, I say to the pretty lady who hands me my things to show her that I know English. She doesn't say anything back, like maybe I just barked. After we get all our things, it's the adults' turn. They stand in their own line, trying to look like they don't really care, like they have better things to do than be here. The truth is that we hear them all the time complain about how the NGO people have forgotten them, but they should visit more often. Oh, NGO this and NGO that, like maybe the NGO are their parents. Soon the adults get small packets of beans and sugar and meal, but you can see from their faces that they are not satisfied. They look at the tiny packages like they don't want them, like they are embarrassed and disappointed by them. But in the end, they turn and head back to the shacks with the things. It's Mother Love alone who doesn't join the line for food. She stands there like a baobab tree, looking at everything from the side in her bright gown with the many stars. There is a sadness on her face. One of the NGO ladies takes her sunglasses off and waves to Mother Love, but Mother Love just stands there, not waving back, not smiling, not anything. Sis Betty holds out some packages. "How, Mother Love!" Sis Betty shouts in a silly voice, like she's coaxing a stupid child. "Please come, Bantu. Can't you see we've brought you gifts?" she says. The NGO people hold out more little packages to Mother Love, and the two white women even bare their teeth like grinning dogs. Everybody's waiting to see what Mother Love will do. She turns and strides away, head held high, the bangles on her arms chinking, the stars on her dress shining, the scent of lemon staying in the air even after she is gone. When the NGO lorry finally leaves, we take off and run after it. We have got what we wanted, and don't care how they want us to do. We wave our toy guns and gifts in the air, and shout what we want them to bring us next time. Shoes, all-stars, balls, cell phones, cake, underwear, drinks, biscuits, US dollars. The groaning sound of the lorry drowns our voices, but we continue to run and shout regardless. When we get to Msiligazi, we stop, because we know we cannot get on the road. Zwo screams, "Take me with you!" And we all scream the words, screaming and screaming, like somebody said the lorry would turn around and take whoever screamed the loudest. We watch the lorry get smaller and smaller, until it's just a dot, and when it finally disappears, we turn around and walk back towards the shanty. Now that the lorry is gone, we do not scream anymore. We are as quiet as graves, sad like the adults coming back from burying the dead. Then Bestad says, "Let's go and play war." And then we take off and run to kill each other with our brand new guns from America. Real change. The adults